Alright, in this video it's going to be a little bit different than some of the stuff I've been doing. This is kind of a funny story that I'll probably tell a little bit more on later in another video. But anyway, this is basically a cutout. I printed out a back and front for PlayStation 1 cover. Originally, I was trying to buy the PS2 version, which I believe once it comes in, I'll do a video once it comes in. Accidentally, the person complained on eBay that it was a PS2 version. Unfortunately, from what I actually looked on the disc, and then I didn't realize after I looked in one of the second pictures, it had a black overlay on the CD, so that was obviously given it was a PS1. I was able to confirm it just through looking online. But I can talk about more about that in some later video specifics on this game, and just some reasons behind why I picked this game up. But I'm not going to talk about that in this video. This video, I'm just going to kind of go over. I'm just doing a front and back inlay for basically getting ready for this PS1 game. So I don't have an actual PS1 clear casing. This is the clear back. This isn't the clear backing like a PlayStation 1 jewel cases. But I'm going to use what I have. Maybe I might find one later down the road and I can use to replace that. I used to have some clear inlays, but they were just so worn out. It might just be worth actually looking into getting some just some newer, nicer, cleaner replacements. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of, this is my first of doing, of course, just mainly this is the back inlay. You can see here's the folding spots on the actual CD backlaying cover. We'll see how well this works. As you can see, it's only a one-sided. If I'm to get the clear side, I'll actually have to use this as a template and then place the inlayer off the same resolution and print it out and just kind of fold it on the inside on the opposite side so you can see it from basically it'll be from this side on this clear, on the internal side you would see it, but since I don't have one that's clear, I'm not going to worry about doing that right now. I'm just going to focus on getting this back inlay cut out, and I'm just going to kind of work on getting rid of some of this white and just kind of go from there. Let's see here. Just want to get real close. Maybe this side. Yeah, this will be a good side to start on. Because the main thing is, well, I'm just trying to get a good lineup with the image. I don't mind cutting off, accidentally not cutting off too much, because then that way I can actually see it a little bit easier, and then make another additional cut. It's not exactly as easy as you think it is. Here we go. There, that should be perfect. Yeah, it's just, I'm also, there'll be another video on why I'm actually starting to do some PlayStation stuff. I'm actually following someone on Facebook that has really kind of encouraged me to look into some of the retro, actual, legitimate, consoles and stuff to play your games on instead of emulation. I do agree with this kind of viewpoint over emulation. There's something about playing some of these consoles on the legitimate hardware. Granted, most of the stuff that you'll see me playing, if it's on the original hardware and it's nostalgic and old school, I would say most of the stuff that I'm mostly interested in playing are actually Nintendo 64 and PS2, which I've started my collection back up on the PS2. This is just my standing point and viewpoint. I really enjoy the PlayStation 2, and I've never really been a fanboy of the PlayStation, but I kind of forgotten how many good games were from that console era. There was a lot of nostalgic games that came out during that era that were just really neat and fun, and really neat little cooperative or multiplayer games. I'm kind of collecting some of them. I already have picked up some, like for example, Star Wars Episode 3, and then of course Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, and Return of the King. Those were fun little co-op kind of hack and slash games I remember growing up with. They were a lot of fun, just being able to kind of run through really just the movie elements, and it just turned it into a nice little fun little cooperative kind of game. Now I'm going to move over here to the this is supposed to be the front inlay, and we'll see how that goes. Usually these are actually like let's see how close we are. I think I can adjust it just a little bit more. These are actually like supposed to be manuals on the PlayStation 1. I don't want to cut it without having this on it, because in that way it keeps it from bowing, and then I can get a straight cut as that possibly can get. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that's pretty close. May not be perfect. It's gonna have to be as close as I can get. I was actually debating on whether I was actually going to keep the PS1 version of this or not. I think I may, just because I picked up a really cheap copy. It really surprised me too. I thought, you know, I'd just kind of pick this stuff up for my wife, and just so that she could play it leisurely as she's able to. She's a really big Harry Potter fan. But there's a little bit more in depth to it, to the Sorcerer/Philosopher's Stone. I do recommend, if you're not familiar with some games, especially if they're old and not explained, do a little research, because that's where I kind of fell into the little pit on this one. I can explain more later once I actually have the game, and I'll go over just kind of showing the game that I pick up. Let's see. Does that go? I might need a little adjustment. There we go. I think that's probably good. Handle keeps coming off. Let's see. I think I might need to trim just a little bit of this white off this edge, just to make it look a wee bit more sleek. I don't know if I got it or not. Yeah, that's good enough. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way, and then we'll start working on getting it into this CD overlay. See how that see how this setup's going to come out. It would be nice to actually get the manual, but I don't really want to collect too much on PS1 games in general. Yeah, look, it actually fits just right. I'm kind of surprised. I actually got the inlay right. If you just Google these measurements, you'll get them right. I don't like that it's a little bit loose, but maybe I can resolve that with something to keep it from being so loose. Like maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll think of something, and I might talk about it later. But here's the fun thing. Let's see how we can do this. Because I'm going to have to, the way this is going to have to display is these letters are going to have to display on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and just remove this front, because this is going to keep sliding on me until I get this measured out correctly within this. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge, especially since I don't have anything to crease properly. So I'm just kind of creasing it on my own. It looks a little sloppy, but let's see if this is a good kind of starter point. It looks like I need to move it back a little bit. I don't want too much of the image being shown on the edges, because then it don't look as professional. Sorry, I keep kind of coming off camera. Really trying my best on this. This is really just for my collector standing point. Let's see, make sure I get it the correct direction. Let's go ahead and just fold these edges over a little bit more. And the same measurements for this, I pretty much got online as well. The measurements are a little bit larger because you got these folding sections, of course. I think this is good here. I'm just gonna close this just to check the edges and see how it looks. It looks a little bit foldy in it. Maybe I can kind of push this out. I bet you it'll look a little bit better once I put this back piece in it. I hope so anyway. But if I'm gonna put the backing, I would have to put it over the top of this. And well, yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, I saw a copy at my local at Game Exchange, and wonder if that's even the correct direction it's supposed to be in. I never really paid attention whether that was or not, or even if it's on the correct side. But I know that this is correctly done. I do see it bowing, I think, a little bit in here. Maybe this will help get things lined out. We'll see real quick if that's the case or not. Yeah, this might press it down. Let's see what it looks like on this side here. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I bet you that. I'm not really sure which side it's supposed to be on, but I could have made that a little bit bigger. But it's close enough. It's obviously not really what I'm going for collection-wise. But anyway, I mean, this is something different I've done. I haven't done this before, a CD inlay. So now I have a CD inlay, and once I get the game, I'll pull it out and I'll show you the game, the PS1 version. I also have the PS2 version, since they are actually, it's kind of deceptive because they use some of the same cover art, but I think they're actually two different game developers that made this game between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. I think the PlayStation 2 version, they revised it significantly. I think among fans, at least from what I've seen, kind of just short and brief, what I've just kind of surveyed through AI, that kind of stuff, that I think it's the preferred version is the PlayStation 2. I think most people that like the PS1 version are more just nostalgic purposes, and from what I've seen, example like Hagrid looks terrible. Like, I mean, like the meshes and textures are just absolutely horrific from what I've seen. But I can understand why people could really enjoy the PS1 version just because of the nostalgia, and that's what they had at the time. I find it kind of interesting that they had it, a lot of the Harry Potters actually for PlayStation 2. I think most of the books that they released, at least for the movies anyway, are also on PlayStation 2. I think I might also collect those as well, just for the aspect of my wife to be able to play and enjoy and add this to my collection. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching me making this new CD inlay. This is my first attempt on that. You'll see a little bit more on some of these Harry Potter stuff. I'll just be kind of showing you mainly stuff on physical media. I'm not sure if I'll actually play this stuff on my channel. This might be just stuff I do off stream. But anyway, I hope I've inspired and just kind of maybe inspired you in some way of making your own CD inlays, or giving some ideas or thoughts what you can do. But anyway, you all have a good one, and as always, be positive, be creative.